Once again, good morning to you all. Today, we are going to discuss on a data movement verb. So, this is the topic that we discussed in the last class. So, data movement verb, it seems to be a very simplest topic, nothing more complex over here. The only thing is you must understand the examples. So, you have some 10 examples over here. Suppose if you people would be able to understand those examples, then it will be very easy. Okay. So before discussing on those examples, so I would like to give them a small introductions on data movement verb. Okay. So the definition for this data movement verb, the definition is moving data from one place to another place in memory. So here they are specifying the word what in memory. Okay. So normally we used to use what we used to use data items. So in each and every program, whatever the program that you're going to use in your Cobol programming language, for all those Cobol programming language, we used to have data item name. Okay. So we used to declare the data item name in working storage section. So we used to have some four divisions. The divisions like identification, and then environment, and then data, and then you will have procedure division. So total of we have some four divisions. So under these four divisions, the important division is data division. One of the important division is data division. So here in data division, we used to have one of the section working storage section. So in working storage section we used to declare the data items. So using some picture class and using some level numbers and using the data item name, we used to declare a particular data item. So the declaration of data item, which consists of level number first, for example 01, which is going to be the level number, and then you will have the data item name, for example sum, which is going to be the data item name, and then you will have the picture class. So picture class which is been referred with the word pic, and then you will have the code character. So we used to define the code character along with your picture class. Suppose we are going to use 9, which denotes, which is going to be a numeric character. Suppose you are going to use capital A, which denotes that's going to be only an alphabet. Suppose we are going to use X, which denotes you are going to use alphanumeric character. So similarly, you will have some various code characters. So the code character is different from editing characters. So we have seen both the topics, code character and editing character. This code character is very important. So the code character which defines, so what is each and every value that we are going to use in your data item name. So suppose you are going to use 2 digit, which has been represented using 2 nines. Suppose you're going to use 3 digits, which has been represented using 3 nines. Suppose you're going to use some alphanumeric character, for example, which have the combinations of both alphabets and numeric value. So suppose if the size which is going to be a total of 10. So here we could use both the combinations of alphabet and also numbers. So which is being represented using X, capital X, which is going to be the code character for alphanumeric, and then you will have capital V and then capital P to denote the assumed decimal point. We used to use capital V and then capital P. So these are some various code characters that we have. We have 9, and then we have X, and then we have A, and then we have V, and then we have P. So these are some various code characters that we have. So which has been used with your what picture class. Okay. The reason for discussing about picture class is, so here in data movement verb we used to use the picture class. Only with the help of picture class we used to represent, so what each and every position of the value that you're going to use. Suppose whether you're going to use a numeric value, whether you're going to use an alphabet value, whether which is going to be an alphanumeric value, whether your value which consists of decimal places or not. So to specify those things, surely we need the support of this picture class. So this is how we used to normally define, what we used to define the data item under working storage section. So you will have level number, and then you will have data item name, and then you have picture class with its various coding character. Okay. So here data movement verb, which is very simple. So in the name itself we have the answer for that. So we are going to move what? We are going to move the data from where to where, from one identifier to another identifier. Okay, so the data item name whatever that you're going to use, that's the actual identifier that we are going to use in our program. Okay, so the data item name whatever that you're going to declare under working storage section, the same data item name which is been referred here as what? Identifiers. Okay, sometimes we may use literals in the sense a constant value whatever that you're going to use, those things we used to call it as in literals. Okay. So moving a particular value from one identifier to another identifier, we used to call it as an data movement verb. So we are going to use a verb here. The verb name here is move, move. So this is the verb that we are going to use here. First I would like to give some simple examples. For example, move A to B. This is the example that I would like to discuss first. So this is the first example, move capital A to capital B. So here the capital A which is going to be one of the identifier, and capital B which is going to be another identifier. Now the capital A which consists of some value. Now we are going to move this value to the identifier B. Okay, it's very simple. So you have two identifiers in this particular statement. So the statement is move move capital A to and capital B. So this is the example that we have. So in this example, move which is the data movement verb, and A which is the identifier, and to which is used along with your move verb and then capital B which is going to be another identifier. So here we are going to move the value of A to B. It's very simple. So suppose the value of A which is going to be 10, after using this data movement verb, after execution of this particular statement, the B which will consist the value of 10. Suppose if the value of A which is going to be 15, and after using this particular statement, executing this particular statement, the B which consists of the value 15. So that's the thing. So we are going to move the value from one identifier to another identifier. That's it. It's very simple. So what is the purpose of data movement verb? We are going to move a particular value from one identifier to another identifier. So for this purpose we are using what? We are using this data movement verb. Okay. So that's the thing. So the post your answers in your chat box, ma. So what is the purpose of data movement verb? Post your answers in chat box. What is the movement of data movement verb? So just now I have explained with you some example. So moving one identifier to another identifier. So I'm getting answers in chat box. Okay, and then moving data from one place to another in memory. Okay, and it is have answered exactly. Okay, and what about the others? I need answers from everyone. Okay. So the Nitish have answered it very correct. So that's the exact answer. Moving a value from one identifier to another identifier. Here, each and every identifier have its own places in computer memory. For example, the capital A which is going to have separate memory places in computer memory, and capital B which is going to have separate places in your computer memory. Actually, you will have some memory storage area. Okay, storage area in your computer memory. Okay. So basically we are going to move that particular value from one place of your computer memory to other place of your computer memory. Okay, so that's the thing actually that is happening over here in this data movement verb. Okay, and then the few things that we have over here is we have some rules that to be followed while using this data movement verb. We have some important rules that to be followed in data movement verbs. The rules are the first one. So here you have two things. We used to call it as a sending field and receiving field. So make a note of these things, dear students. Make a note of these things. We have two things over here: the sending field and receiving field. Okay, sending field in the sense. So whatever the identifier that you're going to use to send the data, Okay, so whatever the identifier that you're going to use to send the data, that particular identifier we used to call it as an sending field. For example, here what is the example that we have over here? Move capital A to capital B. Capital A, which is going to be the sending field. Okay, and then which is one which is going to get that particular value, the capital B which is going to get that particular value. So the capital B which is going to act like the receiving field. Okay, so who is the sender and who is the receiver? So A is capital A, which is going to send the value, where capital B, which is going to receive the value. So capital A, which is going to act like the sending field, and capital B, which has been called as what? Receiving field. So you have two things over here: sending field and receiving field. Okay. The first rule here is the first rule. The first rules here is sometimes you may have more than one receiving field. Okay, sometimes you may have more than one receiving field, but always we used to have only one sending field. Okay, so this is the first rule. The first rule is sometimes we may have more than one receiving field, we may have more than one receiving field, but always the sending field will be only one. Okay, sending field will be only one. So this is going to be the first rule that we have. And then the next thing is we have some data transfers. So basically we are performing what? Data transfers here using data movement verb. So suppose if the sending field and receiving field, which is going to be an numeric data or numeric edited data. Okay, both the sending field and receiving field, either which is going to be a numeric data or numeric edited data. These types of transfer, these types of numeric transfer, numeric data transfer, we used to call it as an numeric data transfer. Okay, so this numeric value will be transferred from one identifier to another identifier. For example, capital A, which is going to be a numeric identifier, and capital B, which is going to be a numeric identifier. From A to B, we are sending a numeric value. So these types of transferring a numeric value, we used to call it as an numeric data transfer. Okay, and then here we used to use what? Some concepts like truncation and zero fill. So these are very, very important concepts in numeric data transfer. So in numeric data transfer, this truncation and then zero fill, we used to call it as zero fill. So these two things are very, very important one. The reason here is whenever we used to transfer a particular value from one identifier to another identifier, basically two things will happen. The first action is about what? Truncation, or else the second action it will be what? Zero fill. So you will have what? Two things that may happen. It not surely it won't happen, sometimes it may happen, either truncation and then second one which is going to be zero fill. So these are the two concepts that we have in the second rule. So in the second rule, which is about numeric data transfer, in numeric data transfer we used to follow some two things. Sometimes we used to follow truncation. Sometimes that may happen, the truncation may happen, or else sometimes the zero fill may happen. Okay, so when the truncation will happen, or when the zero fill will happen, this is going to be the next obvious question that automatically arises in our mind. So it's very simple. We are going to send a numeric value from one identifier to another identifier, and then we used to call this as what? Numeric data transfer. Okay, so in this numeric data transfer, sometimes these actions may happen. The actions are what? Truncations, and the second one which is about zero fill. We used to call it as an ZEROFILL, zero fill. Okay, and then automatically question rises. So what is meant by truncation and what is meant by zero fill? So as we discussed, we have what? We have sending field and we have what? Receiving field. Okay, suppose if the receiving field, which is going to be an smallest one, smaller one, comparing to the sending field. For example, the sending field which consists of some four nines in your picture class, whereas in the receiving field which consists of just two nines in the picture class, automatically two digits will be truncated. Suppose you're going to send a 4-digit value from capital A to capital B, automatically two-digit value will be truncated. So always the numeric value will be filled from right to left. Okay, so keep it in mind, always the numeric value will be filled from right to left, whereas the alphabet value will be filled from left to right. So keep it in mind, whenever that we are going to use this data movement verb, or whenever that we are going to use the editing option, whenever that we are going to use this picture class options, so while using these topics, we used to align the data. The data may be either which is going to be a numeric value, or the data may be which is which is going to be an alphabet value. So whenever that you're going to use numeric value, the value will be aligned from right to left. Okay, so make a note of these things. So whenever that you're going to use a numeric value, the numeric value will be aligned from right to left. Okay, and then whenever that you're going to use alphabet value, the alphabet value will be aligned from left to right. It's very simple. Okay, so now we are discussing about one numeric data transfer. The first thing that may happen is what? Truncation. So in truncation, truncation means it's very simple. Truncation means cutting or removing or deleting some of the digit positions. Okay, so automatically it will get deleted, it will be removed. For example, suppose the capital A, which consists of 4 9 in its picture class, and capital B, which consists of just 2 9 in its picture class. So normally what will happen, the capital A for 4 9s, it could occupy a 4-digit numeric value, and capital B which could occupy what? 2-digit numeric value. So that's the thing. Okay, but suppose while using data movement verb, and then now we are trying to send 4-digit value from capital A to capital B. But what is the limitation that we have over here, where capital B, which could occupy only what? Just 2 digits over there. But we are trying to send what? 4-digit position. Then what will happen? The rightmost 2 digit alone will be assigned to capital B, where the leftmost 2 digit will be automatically truncated, or else we used to call it as a delete, or else we used to call it as a remove. Okay, so the leftmost 2 digit will be automatically truncated from the sending value. Okay, so sometimes this may happen, the truncation may happen. Suppose if both the A and B, which is going to have 4-digit position, but suppose A, which is going to have the picture class with 4 9s, and B, which is going to have a picture class with 4 9, here it won't be a problem. So whatever the 4-digit value the A is sending to B, that will be received as such. So there won't be any changes in the value of the receiving field. Sometimes, suppose if the receiving field, which consists of smaller in its picture class, or smaller in its size, at those times truncation may happen. Truncation, which is going to be one of the option. And then another thing is zero fill. We used to call it as zero fill. Zero fill is very important. Zero fill in the sense, suppose if the receiving field, which is going to be an larger one, and sending field, which is going to be an smallest one, this is going to be an opposite in action comparing to the truncation. See here, there in truncation, what will happen? The sending field, which is going to be in larger one, and receiving field, which is going to be in smallest one. Okay, in zero fill, where the sending field, which is going to be an smallest one, and receiving field, which is going to be what? Largest one. Okay, so at this point, here zero fill, it used to have it used to happen. Okay, the zero fill will happen in the second category. Okay, so the receiving field, which is going to be what? A larger one, the sending field, which is going to be smallest one. So now, for example, the picture class of A is just 2 9s. I'm reversing the first example. The A, which consists of what? Just 2 9. B, which consists of 4 9s in its picture class. So A, just it could occupy what? Just 2-digit value with it. Where B, it could occupy what? Maximum it could occupy some 4-digit value. So that's the thing that we have over here. So what will happen now? Now we are going to send the value of A to B. Just we are sending 2-digit value to B, where the B, which consists of what? 4-digit position. So it consists of some 4 9s. So it could occupy what? It could occupy 4-digit value over there. So here what will happen? So we are going to align the value from right to left. To the leftmost two digit, automatically the 0 will be filled. Okay, so just we are sending two digit value from identifier A to identifier B. Suppose for example you are going to send the value 10 from identifier A to identifier B. Now the identifier B, which consists of what, 4 digit position, 4 nines over there, and for leftmost to 9 the 10 will be assigned as such, and for the rightmost to 9 the 10 will be assigned as such. For leftmost to 9 there won't be any value, so actually it will be free. The two digit 9 positions will be free, the leftmost two nines will be free. So instead of 2 9, 0 will be filled. So these types of zero filling we used to call it as a zero fill. So we used to fill the zeros for the empty positions whatever that we have in the receiving field. Okay, so this is good, these things which is about numeric data transfer. Okay, so in numeric data transfer, uh, we have what, we have two options. The first option is about what, truncation, and second thing which is about what, zero fill. Okay, so don't forget about it. So similarly, the next thing which is about alphanumeric data transfer. So it's very simple. Sometimes there's both the sending field and receiving field, which is going to be either alphabet or which is going to be an alphanumeric numeric value, either alphanumeric edited value. So if both the sending field and receiving field which is going to be an alphabet or alphanumeric edited, we used to call it as an alphanumeric data transfer. Okay, so the first one we discussed earlier, which is about what, which is about numeric data transfer. The second one which is about what, uh, alpha numeric data transfer. This is going to be the second type that we have. So here in alpha numeric data transfer, we have both the sending field and receiving field which is going to be either alphabetic value, or else which is going to be an alphanumeric edited value. Okay, so you have two options over here. Okay, so here you have two more things in alphanumeric data transfer. So as we discussed, always the alphabetic value will be aligned from left to right. So that's going to be the first condition that we have. And then the next condition here is, suppose if the receiving field which is going to be a larger one, okay, and sending field which is going to be in smallest one. So receiving field which is going to be in largest one, and sending field which is going to be an what, smallest one. So here the space fill will happen at the right. Okay, so for example I'm going to send a particular name from capital A to capital B. So here capital A which is going to be an alphabet, and capital B which is going to be an another alphabet, the identifier which denotes what, which is going to be, which is going to process alphabetic value. So here I'm going to use the character which is going to be like x of 10. Okay, so the capital A, so I'm going to use the example move A to B. The capital A which consists of x of 10 in its picture class, and capital B which consists of x of 15 in its picture class. So it's very simple. So the example here I'm going to use here is move A to B. Okay, the A which consists of the picture class x of 15, and B which consists of picture class, for example what, x of 15. The A which is going to be with x of 10. Okay, A which consists of x of 10, and B which consists of x of 15. This x of 10 which could occupy to the maximum of what, 10 alphabet, 10 character value, 10 alphabetic value, where x of 15 which consists of which could occupy some 15 character position. So now I'm going to send a name from A to B. For example, I'm going to send a name. The name is, for example, Rajesh. Rajesh is the name I'm going to send from identifier A to B. Okay. Now what will happen? So Rajesh, which consists of a total of what, 6 characters with it. So RAJESH, a total of 6 characters. I'm going to move this value, Rajesh value, from A to B. Now the B which consists of what, a total of 15 position. But how many positions that I'm sending from A to B? Just I'm going to send 6 position. I'm going to send the name Rajesh, which consists of what, just 6 characters with it. So now I'm sending to what, x of 15, that is to B, moving the value from A to B. Now it will occupy the first 6 positions of capital B, and total of we have what 15 positions, so remaining 9 positions will be empty over there. Okay, so the B identifier, the size of B identifier is what, x of 15, and then here I am sending the name from A to B. The A which consists of some 6 positions, now I am sending this Rajesh to what, capital B. Now B which consists of some 15 positions, so from left to right the Rajesh will be aligned, this particular word will be aligned. First it's going to occupy some 6 positions from left to right, and the rightmost 9 positions will be empty. Okay, so here space fill will happen at the rightmost end. Space fill in the sense it used to fill some blank spaces over there. Okay, so normally we don't have any values over there, and then automatically there will be some blank spaces. So those blank spaces we used to call it as a space fill. SPACEFILL. Okay, so in the previous numeric data transfer we discussed about zero fill. So here we are discussing about what, space fill. SPACEFILL. Okay, so you will have space fill at the rightmost end. So the rightmost 9 positions will be space fill. So first 6 positions will be filled with the name Rajesh. The rightmost the 9 positions will be filled with what, spaces, the empty spaces basically. And then you have one more option, and the one more option is truncation. So in both numeric data transfer and then in alphanumeric data transfer we have this option. The option is what, truncation, the second option. So truncation in the sense, suppose if the receiving field which is going to be a smaller one and the sending field which is going to be larger one, the condition is opposite with the previous example. While comparing to the previous example, the condition is exactly opposite. Now the sending field which is going to be the largest one and receiving field which is going to be the smallest one, then what will happen, automatically truncation will happen. Okay, now for example, now in sending value from A to B, now the receiving field which is going to have some 4 position with it, and sending field which is going to have some 6 position. So A, identifier A which is going to have x of 6, and then identifier B which is going to have x of 4 in its picture class. So x which denotes what, which is going to be an alphanumeric characters. Okay, so now I'm going to send the same value Rajesh from identifier A to identifier B. Now what will happen, it will align from left to right. Okay, so it used to align R, A, J, E. Okay, the first 4 digit position will be filled in the identifier, because the identifier B which consists of what, x of 4. Now the first 4 character will be filled, the remaining 2 character S and H will be automatically truncated. Automatically it will get deleted, because the sending field which is going to be with some largest size and receiving field which is going to be in smallest one comparing to the sending field. Now I am sending the Rajesh to from A to B. The A which consists of what, 6 digit position, 6 positions, not digit position, 6 character positions, whereas in B which consists of some just 4 character positions. So the rightmost 2 characters, the S and H, will be automatically truncated. So truncation means what, deletion, deleting, okay, or removed. Okay, so that's it about the rules that we have to follow in this data movement verb. Just we have these rules. So once again I'm repeating the rules. The first rule, which is about you may have more than one receiving field, that's going to be the first rule. So you may have more than one receiving field, but you will have only one sending field, that's going to be the first rule. And the second rule is what, numeric data transfer. In numeric data transfer we used to follow some 2 techniques. The first technique is truncation and second technique is zero fill. Okay, and then third rule, which is about alphanumeric data transfer. So alphanumeric data transfer, so here you will have 2 things, 2 techniques over here. The first one is about truncation, and the next one which is about what, space fill. Okay, whereas in numeric data transfer you have zero fill, whereas in alphanumeric data transfer you will have space fill. So these are the things that we have. Just we have 3 rules over here. The first one, what, more than one receiving field, you may have more than one receiving field, that's going to be the first rule. And second rule, which is about numeric data transfer, under numeric data transfer you have 2 technique, truncation and zero fill. And another one is what the third rule, which is about alphanumeric data transfer. In alphanumeric data transfer, you have two things, two techniques. The first one is truncation, and second one is space fill. Okay. So in both numeric data transfer and alphanumeric data transfer, we have truncation, but the difference is in numeric data transfer we have what, zero fill, whereas in alphanumeric data transfer we have what, we have space fill. Okay. So you must know what is meant by space fill and what is meant by zero fill and what is meant by truncation. So these are some of the various basic things that you people must know. Okay. um, so already it's time up. Okay. So I would like to stop the session with some few questions, and then once again we could continue by 10:15. So I would like to pose some questions. So I'm not hereafter I'm not going to ask questions individually. Instead, I'm going to ask to everyone. So those who ever know answers, you could post those answers in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Um, First question, what is the use of data movement verb? What is the use of data movement verb? So post your answers in chat box. What is the use of data movement verb? What is the use of data movement verb? This is going to be the first question. So post your answers in chat box, please. Make it fast, man, so that we could complete the session. So Divya have answered it correct. Moving data from one place to another in computer memory. The same question what I asked earlier. So at the beginning of the session, I asked the same question as what is the purpose of data movement verb. Now the same question, but just a twist over there. Instead of purpose, I have used what use. So what is the use of data movement verb? That's it. There is no any differences. So so many of you are answering very good. So Divya have answered it first. So moving data from one place to another, okay. And Nitish have answered it to transfer data from one field to another, okay, good. And Harshini have answered it correctly. Okay, good. Moving data, transferring from one place to another. And Afrin have answered moving data from one place to another. Okay, Sharon Sweetie, moving data from one, and Surya, and then Kanya. So almost most of you have answered it very correctly. And then the last question, the second question. The second question is, we have two types of data transfers. Okay, we have two types of data transfer. So list out those two types of data transfer. So we have two types of data transfer in data movement verb. So what are those two types of data transfer? So I'm getting the answers. I'm asking about data transfers here. So Afrin have answered it, sending field and receiving field. Okay, good. Okay, good. And then Nizis have answered it as numeric and then alphanumeric. Very good. Nitish, that's the exact answer actually. Okay, so Nitish have answered it very correctly. So we have two types of data transfer. The first one, which is about numeric data transfer, and second one, which is about alphanumeric data transfer. So very good. So a special appreciation to Nitish, so who have answered it first, numeric data transfer and alphanumeric data transfer. Very good. And Harshini have answered, and Divya have answered, Malvika, Kanya, and Sharon Sweetie. Okay. So Afrin have answered it as what? Sending field and receiving field. So yes, we have sending field and receiving field, but actually we are transferring the value from sending field and receiving field. Okay. So for example, move A to B, A which is going to be the sending field and B which is going to be receiving field. So thank you for listening patiently, and then I hope most of you have understand it, understand these concepts. Almost you have understand these concepts. In the next class I will explain you the same topic with examples. So now you have idea as how it used to work. In the next class you will have some exact examples with some explanations, so you will understand the concepts thoroughly. So whenever someone going to ask some questions, you people will answer it exactly, or you will answer it properly. Okay. So thank you students, thank you for listening patiently for the last 45 minutes. Okay. So thank you students, thank you. Go for break and join exactly by 10:15.